All right, just in my garage today. Actually, just came back from camping. Actually, it's pretty cool. Um, Came home and there was my 3-inch exhaust, just sitting right on the front porch. So of course, what do I got to do? I got to start welding. I just got this whole kit. It's a 3-inch universal kit just off of eBay. It was $100, and just started cutting. All I had to do is just cut that piece off of the long one, and it's actually a pretty cool kit. I do have a V-band header, so got V-band. But a subscriber of mine, Jorden, wanted a little walk around on my 98 CRV. That is K-swapped, obviously. First thing I will say is there is a lot of custom cutting, shaving, and welding. So if you're not good at that, then you need to find a buddy of yours, First things first, we'll start at the radiator. This is just an OEM radiator off of eBay. I just wanted a full length because I knew that I was going to be turbocharging it, and just wanted, I'm driving it in the wintertime and 110 degree weather. So wanted a full length. So I did put dual Mishimoto fans on there with just the eBay aluminum shroud for an RSX. Absolutely perfect. But check this out. You have to, of course, take those lower brackets, cut them off, and then weld them back into place in the in kind of the same position. Here's like probably one of the ugliest things of my car, but who really cares, right? It works. So the radiator hose, there is no radiator hose. So check this out, right? It's cool that I have two K-swap cars that I can show you this. So pay attention to valve cover to upper radiator hose, right? So that's a CRV to a Civic. Completely different, right? Way higher. So now the radiator hoses that you're going to find for K-swaps are all for a Civic. This is the factory JDM, so it comes off at an angle. I'll show you here. Comes off at that angle. Absolutely perfect. Bolts right in, right? But for the CRV, in order to utilize my factory temperature switch, which just bolts right into that cool little spot, I wanted to use this billet aluminum piece. So then what I had to do is I had to take some piping and I put it on the inside of here, so then I could just position that, because that radiator hose has to really come down quite a bit longer, just in order for that to come around and then up in there. So that's how I did it. You don't have to do it like that, but that's how I did it, right? Obviously your fuel system, this is just the bolt-in K-swap fuel setup off of eBay. You just make the ends and literally just bolts right in, essentially. Now what I did is, so this whole K-member is from a 94 Acura Integra LS. So I have the sway bar and everything. This rack is from a manual 92 to 95 Civic, because Civic and Integra is all the same, right, for the bolt pattern. If you want to go with a manual rack, you're going to have to disassemble the rack and take this shaft all the way out, because the factory shaft, it would go all the way up here. So you have to, well, maybe up to here. Anyways, you just have to shorten that shaft by an inch. 1 inch. Bolts right up. Mine's a little rusty, but don't pay attention to that. To be honest with you, I have an Integra rack, but anyways, doesn't matter. Motor mounts. These are just Hossport EKK2, which means you can adjust these motor mounts. Okay, they have 2 holes in them. I am in those positions, which is the upper position on those, or lower position, my bad, lower position and lower position, because this is a all-wheel drive, and if you try and go to the upper position, then well, it just won't work because of that transfer case and everything. It's just right there. So you can see OEM CRV or RSX shifter cables, all that stuff just bolted in. You can use obviously any engine harness. I used the rye wire, just tucked harness. I did delete power steering and AC, so you just want to make sure that when you order, if you're going to delete power steering, order this for a K24 or a K20, because your crank pulley down there is a different size, so they're going to give you the correct belt. I don't have AC either, but you can see it's super close to have those fans in there, but does not rub because of these very nice motor mounts. We can go to the inside here, and I want to talk about the shift linkage. This is a little bit custom just to get it to fit. Obviously, you can see I had to notch that out. Had to notch that out just enough for that sucker to fit. And it's perfect. No problem going that way. I could put a shifter boot on it, but I kind of like it. I like billet aluminum, so. The bracketry, that one, these two, sorry. You can't really see it. Those just bolt right in, but these, it hangs way back. So you want to, I just positioned this plastic piece right here just so far forward, and then I did have to heat this up and bend it backwards though. You can kind of see how much I had to bend that back, because I mean, you can imagine, you know, it's even bent backwards. I mean, my hand was, I just nail the dash on third, not so much on fifth, you know, definitely third. I nail that, especially speed shifting, you know. Anyway, so to get this back over here, or to bolt this up over here, there's 2 bolt holes, and the one is actually right there. I don't know if you can kind of see that. It's just right there. Boom. So I took a bracket and measured from there to there, drilled 2 holes, bolted that down, gave me a stud for that. So then I was able to bolt that down. That does have to be custom. Unless you don't want a center console, then obviously then you can just shove it as far forward, or shove it as far backwards as you want to. Now you could shave off that little bit. I was thinking about that, but that's how I did it. You know, you could shave that off, but you're definitely going to have to still bolt that to there. So like I said, just a little bracket. Bolt that up first. Give yourself a stud. So you have to weld a stud onto there, onto your bracket, or get a bracket with a stud. I just welded a stud, you know, to the bracket. Because once you bolt it up, you're not going to be able to get to that one. So you got to tighten that one first. Boom. So, chef link edge, we can go down below, right? Check this out. Because here's another custom. Now this is actually a bolt-in. This is super custom. The lower control arm, you cannot use Integra lower control arms. Any Civic, they're too short by about 4 inches because the CRV has a wider track. So you have to use Integra subframe, Integra bolts. Don't forget about the bolts. Integra, whether it be an LS, which is a smaller anti-roll bar. But then here's the key feature to bolt this up. This end link is an 01 GSR. Has to be 01 GSR. Well, 2001. Because it bolts up completely different, which it has the provision or the spot, which is the exact same as the CRV. Normally your factory CRV has 2 of those, just vice versa, right? So if you bolt up a 01 GSR anti-roll bar, you're going to have to do 2 totally different anti-roll bar end lengths, which I will show you. I figured that out also because I do have an 01 GSR sway bar that I could bolt up. CV axles are OEM original for an 04 CRV. That completely bolt in, right? Just like RSX axles into a Civic. This right here, if you're going to keep it all-wheel drive, this is a factory 0204 CRV driveline. Your original carrier bearing, which is that, bolts way back over here. So you have threaded spots. I took 1/2-inch steel plates, which I just got these at Home Depot. They were, it was just a long one that I just cut right in half actually, and it was perfect. So you just have to measure that, and it bolts right up, right? So just right here, it bolts up. So you drill, bolt that up, then measure. This is going to be an open hole just like that. So I took a 12mm bolt and nut, held the bolt, put the nut in the hole, and just started tack welding around that hole, and then got a threaded spot. So that and that now bolted up, then held this into place, drilled, bolted the driveline up. And this runs about 9 psi, so probably 320 horsepower, and I've done some pretty good launches on people. And this is absolutely perfect. It's very, very strong. No issues. Perfect length too. 04 CRV, right? So I put all the bushings in here, the polyurethane bushings, which are for an Integra, polyurethane bushings for the anti-roll bar, just to stiffen everything up. Let's see here. I think that's about it. I don't know. Let me know if I forgot something. I'm not going to go through, obviously the whole turbo is completely custom. But yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. See ya.